Nature needs a new pronoun. To stop the age of extinction, let's start by teaching it. It's a very good article I decided to read for you. Calling the natural world it absolves us of moral responsibility and opens the door to exploitation. Here's what we can say instead. I just want to make a little comment. When we call the natural world it is as if we compare the natural world to furniture, to things that we buy. The natural world we cannot buy the natural world. Therefore, by calling the natural world it, we bring it down to stupid stuff that we buy. End of my comment. This was written by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Singing whales, talking trees, dancing bees, birds who make harp, fish who navigate, plants who learn and remember. We are surrounded by intelligences other than our own, by featured people and people with leaves. But we are forgotten. There are many forces arrayed to help us forget even the language we speak. A little comment again. The English, yes, English. The English language is very, very limited compared to native languages. And my source is the late wise man from North Dakota. His name is slipping my mind right now. He recently died. Sorry about that, but I'm not God. I don't remember everything. When I'll come back, I'll let you. I will. Just it's slipping my mind. Sad. I'm a beginning student of my native Anishinaabe language, trying to reclaim what was washed from the mouths of children in the Indian boarding schools. Children like my grandmother, so I'm passing a lot of attention to grammar lately. Grammar is how we chart relationships through language, including our relationship with the earth. Imagine your grandmother standing at the stove in her apron and someone says, "Look, it is making soup. It has gray hair." We might snicker at such a mistake, at the same time we recoil. In English, we never refer to a person as it. By the way, I don't, again, personal comment, I don't refer to my cat as an it because, again, she's not a furniture, she's a living being. End of my comment. Such a grammatical error would be a profound act of disrespect. It robs a person of selfhood and kinship, reducing a person to a thing. And yet in English, we speak of our beloved grandmother Earth in exactly that way as it. The language allows no form of respect for the more than human beings with whom we share the earth. In English, a being is either a human or a it. Objectification of the natural world reinforces the notion that our species is somehow more deserving of the gifts of the world than the other 8.7 million species with whom we share the planet. Using it absolves us of moral responsibility and opens the door to exploitation. When sugar maple is an it, we give ourselves permission to pick up the saw. It means it doesn't matter. But in Anishinaabe and many other indigenous languages, it's impossible to speak of sugar maple as it. We use the same words to address all living beings as we do to our family because they are our family. What would it feel like to be part of a family that includes birches and beavers and butterflies? We'd be less lonely. We'd feel like we belong. We'd be smarter. In indigenous ways of knowing, other species are recognized not only as persons but also as teachers who can inspire how we might live. We have an intelligent, my little comment. We have an intelligent creator, and he did indeed create intelligent beings. And I will continue to say that, it's not because you don't consider, like my female cat, she is my friend. She really is. It's not because I consider her as not having a soul that she doesn't have a spirit. But they are the two extremes. You have the extreme of objectifying everything by an it. My cat is part of my family. But on the other hand, I value human being more. Not because I mistreat my cat, but we need to be balanced. Let's say that you would visit me and I would give my cat the same attention that I'm giving to you. I don't think you would like it. But on the other hand, objectifying animals as if they would be furnitures or nature as it would be stupid crap that we're buying is the other extreme. End of my comment. Well, I'm reading that article because it really does resound with me. Otherwise I would not. I don't read just for reading anything, So where was I? In indigenous ways of knowing, other species are recognized not only as persons, but also as teachers who can inspire how we might live. We can learn a new solar economy from plants, medicines from mycelia, and architecture from the ants. Yeah, because we have an intelligent creator who created intelligent beings, including animals and ants and plants, and by learning from other species, we might even learn humility. Oh my gosh, humility. Where humility did. We're lacking a lot of humility in this society, that's for sure. Especially patriarchal society, I might add. Let's continue to read. Colonization, we know, attempts to replace indigenous cultures with the culture of the settler. One of its tools is linguistic imperialism, or the overwriting of language and names. And by the way, what is a comment again? Yes, I'm allowed to make comments. Linguistic imperialism. What is it? On Turtle Island, what is the language of colonialism and imperialism? It's English. End of my comment. Among the many examples of linguistic imperialism, perhaps none is more pernicious than the replacement of the language of nature as subject with the language of nature as object. Yes, I'm completely in agreement with her. Nature as subject, not as object. We can see the consequences all around us as we enter an age of extinction, precipitated by how we think and how we live. It's not complicated. Again, my comments, those who are ruling this world are psychopaths. And so, while we are going through an age of extension, is not difficult to understand. It's because our society think like psychopaths are telling us how to think. Let me make here a modest proposal for the transformation of the English language, a kind of reverse linguistic imperialism, a shift in worldview through the humble work of the pronoun. Might the path of sustainability be marked by grammar? Yet language has always been changeable and adaptive. We lose words we don't need anymore and invent the ones we need. We don't need a worldview of earth beings as objects anymore. That thinking has led us to the precipice of climate chaos and mass extinction. We need a new language that reflects the life-affirming world we want. A new language which its roots in an ancient way of thinking. If sharing is to happen, it has to be done right with mutual respect. So, I talked to my elders. I was pointedly reminded that our language carries no responsibility to heal the society that systematically sought to exterminate it. At the same time, others counsel that the reason we have held on to our traditional teachings is because one day the whole world will need them. End of the quote. I think that both are true. English is a secular language, to which words are added at will. But Anishinaabe is different. Fluent speaker and spiritual teacher, Stetward King reminds us that the language is sacred, a gift to the people to care for one another and for the creation it grows and adapts to, but through a careful protocol that respects the sanctity of the language. He suggested that the proper Anishinaabe word for beings of the living earth would be Bema Diziaki. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing well because I don't know this language. I wanted to run through the woods calling it out, so grateful that this world exists. But I also recognize that this beautiful world would not easily find its way to take the place of it. We need a simple New English word to carry the meaning offered by the indigenous one. Inspired by the grammar of Animasi and with full recognition of its Anishinaabe roots, might we hear the new pronoun at the end of Be Mahadiziaki? Again, I hope I'm pronouncing right. Nestled in the part of the word that means land. Ki, ki-I, to signify a being of the living earth, not he or she, but ki. So that when we speak of sugar maple, we say, oh, that beautiful tree, ki is giving us sap again this spring, and we'll need a plural pronoun too for those earth beings. Let's make a new pronoun kin, kai, ki-in. So we can now refer to birds and trees not as things, but as our earthly relatives. On a crisp October morning, we can look up at the geese and say, look, kin are flying south for this winter. Come back soon. Language, sorry. It's not always easy for me to pronounce English. I'm not English. Language can be a tool for cultural transformation. Make no mistake, ki and kin are revolutionary pronouns. Words have power to shape our thoughts and our actions. On behalf of the living word, let us learn the grammar of Animasi. We can keep it between commas to speak of bulldozers and paper cliffs, but every time we speak, we say ki. Let our words reaffirm our respect and kingship with the more than human world. Let us speak of the beings of earth as the kin they are. End of the article. I made it clear when it was my comments, and very interesting. Written by Robin Wall Kimmerer, was posted March 2015. And I want also to add that the natural world is magic. We have lost the way we were thinking when we were children, this magical thinking, by allowing the psychopaths of this world to shape our way of thinking. And never lose or or if you don't know your mother tongue. Okay, never lose your mother tongue. And if you don't know your mother tongue, try to learn it if you can. Don't lose your mother tongue, because English is the language of colonialism and imperialism. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for my mispronunciations.